Hi, my name is Kira Melindwa, and I'm the founder of Love Made Away Ministries. This year, we are celebrating 25 years in full-time ministry, and we truly have 10,000 reasons plus to give glory, honor, and praise to God. I want to invite you on a life-changing journey to discover who we are at Love Made Away and tell you about what God has been doing through this ministry. Love Made Away is a local nonprofit charity who specializes in humanitarian aid with one simple mission: to see the one in a million and to transform one village at a time. Our heart is to see each village that we come into contact with to become self-sustaining communities. Over the years, our ministry has grown and it's evolved and it's changed. We once focused on doing large crusades, mass missions, and a mass evangelism, but we realized something was missing. We weren't able to see the lasting fruit or what happened to those souls that gave their lives to Jesus. We had a deep desire to see discipleship and true follow-up, so we changed our ministry model. Today, we invest deeply into communities, we build relationships, and we disciple hearts and create lasting impact, lasting relationships, and lasting friendships. So you might be wondering who we are at Love Made Away Ministries. Well, Love Made Away Ministries is led by myself and my husband of 17 years, Stuart Melindwa. Together, we have 3 wonderful children and many adopted children across the nations. We serve under a board of directors that have dedicated their time, their efforts, and their talents to support us in our vision. We are under the spiritual covering of Kingdom Advanced Pentecostal Church in Stony Plain, Alberta. So you might be wondering, what are some of the things that we do at Love Made Away Ministries? Well, let me tell you. We are passionate about meeting both the practical and the spiritual needs of every person that we come in contact with as God leads. One of the very first projects that we started doing was building playgrounds. When living in Uganda, I realized there was very few places that were safe for children to play and for families to go and just be families. So we launched our playground project. One of the other programs that we developed were called Pocket Pals. This was to help keep girls in school during their monthly cycles. We found that girls often didn't have the access to resources such as a simple thing as pads, which cost about 2,500 shillings, which is equivalent to about $1. And girls were having to do things such as sexual favors to men to afford these pads, as well as working endless and tireless hours in farmers' fields. And so now we have developed a washable, reusable pad that we hand out to girls. And to date, we've handed well over 4,000 to 5,000 of these pads to keep girls in school. We also have another program which is near and dear to our heart, and we call it a drive-by dressing. We see a little girl on the side of the street that, her clothes are torn and they're rags, and, some of them only have a couple stitches left before it completely dissolves. And we drive by and we give these girls a new dress. And it's awesome just to see them light up. Their whole countenance changes. And so this is one of the projects that is near and dear to my heart. One of the next projects that we started doing was building schools. We have a school in Otichi Village where we have 567 students, 23 full-time staff, where we offer free education, a feeding program, and medical care, and just loving on these children. It's become a place that is close to our hearts. We've recently also partnered with a local children's home that houses boys that were living on the street, and we've just fallen in love with these kids. We were able to provide school fees with them, fun activities like going swimming, and just loving them well. Another project that we have is we serve in the Kayaka refugee camp, which is just outside of Kampala, about 2.5 hours, and it serves Congolese refugees. And we run a feeding program there, a discipleship program, and these are some of the people that are the most in need. They are in extreme, extreme poverty. And so when they come into Uganda, they're often just given, just a couple of dollars, a tarp, and, that is how they have to survive. And now we're stepping in to do something with them, to show them God sees them in their deepest and brokenest place and just love on them. This year, we are stepping into a new project. It's a new season for Love Made Away Ministries, and we are so excited about what God is doing. We are launching the Love Made Away Educational Recreational Resource Center. So This isn't just a library, friends. No, this is a whole village of exciting activities that the kids, their family, the community can come together. It is a place of hope, a place of healing, and a place of growth. The center will include a library for learning. Being in these remote, deep villages, one thing I learned is that they don't have a wide worldview. Their worldview is so small and so limited because of what resources they've had access to. And so one funny story was I was trying to explain to the children how we got to Uganda. And I said, well, I came on an airplane. Well, they didn't know what an airplane was. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can tell them. It's like a bus and it flies. And they didn't know what a bus was. And so we had to limit it down to a motorcycle. They knew what a motorcycle was. And I was like, well, it's like a motorcycle with like 200 people on and it flies in the air. And so, just having a book, having pictures, having stories to share with these kids, it's going to open up a whole new world for them. And I'm really excited about that, as well as for our adults as well. We are going to be teaching English as a secondary language, teaching how to read and write, learning math skills, basic education, Montessori type education where they can come in and they can learn for free. And then we have our fun huts, right? So this is kind of for learning, where they'll learn about computers and all of this. And then we have some fun huts that we're building as well. We are building a Lego hut that's actually going to look like a piece of Lego, and it's all being built out of mud. And this is a place where they can use their creativity. They can grow things, build things, imagine things, create things. And we are so excited about our Lego hut. Then we also are having a sensory hut for children with special needs. This is almost unheard of in Uganda. I've never actually heard of another program that specializes with kids and special needs. So we'll have sensory tables, water tables, touch things, just to meet that community, because often in Uganda these kids are overlooked, often left to fend for themselves or put on the street to beg for money. But we want to say you are seen by a God in heaven who loves you and he cares about you. And so they're going to be welcome at the Love Made Away Village. We're also building a games hut where families can come and play a board game together and laugh and just be together. We are building an imagination arts center as well, which is going to have googly eyes and glue sticks and scissors and pipe cleaners and just whatever kind of odds and ends, buttons, and just see what they are able to create, what their imagination can come up with. We're also going to have a science hut where they can do experiments. Let's see what happens if we put Mentos and Coke, and just for them to have those experiences is going to be so amazing. On the other side, towards the back, there's a beautiful landscape of mountains, and we're going to have an open air church there where we're going to disciple people and lead people to Jesus, share the love of God. They're going to be able to worship, looking into God's creation. I'm so excited about this church plant. This is actually our we've planted several churches at this point. So this is going to be church number 8. And then we have a coffee hut that we're calling Where Love is Grounded. And this is going to be a place where, the adults, the seniors, the children, they can all come together and enjoy a cup of coffee, which will help as well keep the funding coming into our school up in Otichi Village. We're going to offer a counseling services as well at one of our counseling huts, and where people can come and they can pour out their hearts and just receive some emotional counseling. Where we are building this resource center is in northern Uganda, a place that was actually once torn up by war just recently, not that many years ago. And so there's a lot of emotional scars that need to be healed still. And so we're going to be offering that as well. And then last but not least, one of my favorite things that we are going to be building there is a community theater where they can come together, watch a soccer game that's playing, or a movie. One time, my husband and my brother and his family, we were stuck in a village. We got 3 flat tires while we were trying to get to this village. And I just had this small little laptop, and I played the dinosaur movie, Land Before Time. And there was probably 500 people surrounded by this laptop, grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles, and they were just laughing and laughing. And so to be able to see a movie on a big screen is just going to be amazing. Another project that we have outside of the library that we're launching this year is Grandmas Helping Grandmas. This is going to be a farming agricultural outreach, because often grandmas are left to raise their grandchildren when parents can't. Often they're single moms, or moms die during childbirth, or the dad leaves. There's just many different reasons. Or the parents go to another country to try to work, and often grandmas are left trying to pay for school fees or trying to provide for these grandkids. My husband himself was blessed because his grandma raised him. And so this is a project that is so dear to our hearts. And so we're going to have a community garden and promote self-sustainability. This is more than a project, it's a legacy. So how can you be a part of all of these different things that we've shared about in this video? Well, we can't do it alone. That's the truth. It takes a whole entire village to make this village happen. And we were never meant to do life alone. So ways you can help is you can join us January 10th to 27th. We are taking a team with us. So come to Uganda. Come be Christ's hands and feet. Let's do the practical things just to show God's love. The cost for this is going to be approximately $4,500. Now that may go down as we fundraise, but that's kind of what we're estimating it to be. You can become a monthly financial partner. We don't have a specific amount that you have to give. Any amount can make a difference. And one thing that kind of separates us from most ministries is I actually am paid $0. And so every dollar that comes into Love Made Away Ministries goes directly back to the people. There's zero administration cost, zero fees. I am not paid. I'm a volunteer for our ministry. And so 100% of what you give goes to the communities that you're helping. You can pray for us. We need people that are going to partner with us in prayer, and you can serve this way. We know that God is a God that hears our prayers. You can sponsor a child and change that one life. You can give a one-time donation. Maybe you don't have the funds to give every month, but maybe you can make a one-time donation or say, hey, you know what, Kira? I would love to sponsor the Sensory Hut, or I would love to pay for the Lego Hut, or you know what? I want to see people get healed, and I would love to sponsor the Counseling Hut. Each hut is going to cost $2,000 to build. Or you might say, hey, Kira, I want to help build the church. Well, that's going to be more closer to $4,000 or $5,000. But every single dollar that you give goes directly to these people. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on this journey, for hearing our hearts, and be willing to partner with us and join with us. Because at the end of the day, it's not about numbers for us anymore. It's about the one. And when love has made a way, the message of the cross is heard. Would you come and be a part of this story? God bless you, and thank you so much for your time, for your love, and just for considering partnering with Love Made Away Ministries. God bless you. We love you.